1.
And he's off. Yes, after months of preparation, Prince Harry and his team are making the final leg of their journey to Antarctica. While on the bus to Cape Town Airport, the mammoth task that awaited seemed to suddenly hit the royal. The 200-mile race had to be delayed for 48 hours because of severe weather, but now all three teams have been given the green light to take part in the Walking with the Wounded South Pole Allied Challenge. After posing for a few photos, it was time to savour the final seconds of the gloriously warm South African sun before boarding the plane.
Two.
Prince Harry hits the pitch at Twickenham Stadium, joining the England player Jason Robinson and a group of schoolchildren. The action man Prince was showing off his sporty side once again, taking to the pitch with a group of youngsters for the Rugby Football Union's school programme. And after posing for a team photo, he then showed off his more creative side, helping with a kit designing workshop by adding his signature to someone's strip.
3.
Princes William and Harry have done their bit for charity today, becoming stockbrokers to raise money in memory of those lost in 9/11. They've attended the annual BGC Partners Charity Day, which is held in memory of the 658 employees they lost in the World Trade Center attacks. The event has been running since 2005 and so far raised £56 million for good causes.
Four.
Not everyone is lucky enough to have a back garden so big you can host a football match, but that's something Prince William hasn't had to worry about. Buckingham Palace hosted its first ever football match between two of England's oldest amateur clubs, the Civil Service FC and Polytechnic FC. It was all part of the Football Association's 150th anniversary celebration, and with Prince William being the FA president, he was more than happy to host the match.
I cannot tell you how excited I am that later today we will be playing football on my grandmother's lawn. One warning though, if anyone breaks a window, you can answer to her.
5.
It's nearly 2 weeks since Prince William and Kate showed off their newborn son to the world. The last time we saw William, he was strapping the future King's car seat in outside St Mary's Hospital in London. But now the Duke of Cambridge has made his first public appearance at a charity polo game in Ascot. Riding a white horse, William wasn't afraid to get stuck in during the first half of the Audi Polo Challenge match. He also got to spend some quality time with his brother, Prince Harry. After the game, William hinted Prince George has a mischievous streak, as he wriggles a lot and keeps them all on their toes. While he admitted it was good to get out of the house for the afternoon, his fatherly duties never seemed too far from his mind. During the presentation ceremony, William was given a mini polo stick for Prince George. He then revealed he had to pick up some nappies on his way home.
Thanks to Arthur Conan Doyle, the Scotsman who created Sherlock Holmes, and the very English Agatha Christie, who gave us Miss Marples, the British have a great reputation when it comes to crime fiction. And it seems they have a colourful image in terms of real-life crime. And for this, we have to thank characters like Jack the Ripper. In terms of fictional crime, at least, the tradition lives on. The latest example comes in the form of Sophie Hannah, who has published 4 best-selling thrillers so far: Little Face, Hurting Distance, The Point of Rescue, and The Other Half Lives. We asked her about the English and crime.
In terms of committing crime, I'm not sure the English commit more or better crimes than any other nationality. I mean, they may do, but I just don't know whether they do or they don't. But I think that because crime and detective fiction is such a staple of English life, I can see why other people think that the English are a very crimey sort of lot. English people feel that way about Scandinavians now because there's so much Scandinavian crime. We all sort of think, I wouldn't want to go to Sweden, you'd probably get murdered. But I think, I don't know, the connection between the English and crime is kind of so interesting because the English are perceived by, particularly by Europeans, as being quite formal and stiff upper lip and, you know, having tea with the vicar and terribly polite. And so crime in that context seems more shocking. Whereas, I mean, I'm not so sure about Germans or Austrians, but certainly French, Spanish and Italian people are perceived as being more sort of passionate and more open. So I suppose one would imagine that crimes committed in those countries would be more crimes of passion. I suppose the thing that all the countries have in common is crimes where the motive is profit related. Anyone of any nationality might commit a crime to make more money. But in terms of sort of more personally motivated crimes, I suppose people associate with the English that sort of very planned, calm, secret kind of, you know, I'm going to put some poison in his Earl Grey tea. I think that's more an English thing.
Sophie Hannah then talked about some famous British murderers.
Certainly in England there have been lots of crimes that have stuck in people's imaginations. I mean, Jack the Ripper, the Yorkshire Ripper more recently, Myra Hindley and Ian Brady, Fred and Rosemary West, Ian Huntley and Maxine Carr, the Soham murders. I think there are specific things that make crime stick in people's mind, whether it's that the victims are all prostitutes or it's a couple committing the murders. Something that just lifts it above the normal run of things. And yes, there certainly do seem to be a lot of those in England, which is probably quite worrying. I think maybe because the English are sort of quite repressed and bothered about how things seem, there's a lot more negative stuff that people try to bury and then it erupts in a lethal way, whereas maybe in other countries people are just much more upfront about their feelings, and if you can be openly angry or annoyed or disappointed, then you might not feel the need to kill anybody because you can get it out of your system in a more healthy way.